Let me give you a hint of what is going on. I have to open the door and have a look at the sill, and the first clue is that the sills are painted. Obviously there is actual snow on the road, so I have to be extremely ginger, and I've never really driven one of these either, and I know, oh, there you go, it's a little progressive. Hello everybody, welcome to number 27. Well, I alluded to this in my last video that I was going to get a Lotus. Most of you spotted the Lotus bag in my sitting room when I was doing the repainting the cam covers. So this isn't just any Lotus Elise S1 though, there's a particular reason why I got this car. And we're going to find out more about that in a minute. But first of all, I collected it yesterday, and what perfect weather to drive an Elise. So I'm going to take it straight out in the snow for a little drive to another place, to my usual car park, where we can go through a little bit more what is going on with this very cheap Elise. So first things first, will it even start? And the answer is no, by the looks of it. Oh no, the alarm's... Hold on, alarm off. Right, let's try again. Like a Swiss watch! So this driver's side window has already dropped out of the runners. I was warned about that, but anyway, it's quite good in a way that I'm going to have to drive so ridiculously slowly, because yesterday taking this back home, it's so noisy that I think if I took you for a normal road test, my microphone just wouldn't be able to handle it, whereas at these speeds, hopefully you will be able to hear me. Obviously there is actual snow on the road, so I have to be extremely ginger, and I've never really driven one of these either, and I know, oh, there you go, it's a little progressive, that's quite a lot of fun. So this is a Series 1 Elise, it's a 2000 year Elise. It's got the uprated VVC engine, so 145 horsepower. It's got a stainless steel exhaust, it's got a sports back box. It actually has gas coilovers all round. It's got a short shift gearbox and a short ratio gearbox. It has S2 seats, which are preferable to the S1s. So it's actually got some really nice bits. And I can tell you, I drove it back yesterday and it drives extremely well. It really does. It's absolutely brilliant. I bought this Elise for just £7,500. So what is behind that? What is the reason for it being so cheap? Really slippery out here. Any hint of throttle. When we go to this car park, I'll skid it around a little bit. Couple of 4x4s. Not as suited to these conditions as the Elise though. So to all intents and purposes, this seems like a really nice first series Lotus Elise. So what's going on? Why was it so cheap? Has it got mega mileage maybe? Has this got 200,000 miles? Well, no, it's actually got about 50,000 miles. So it's actually a low mileage car. Well, let me give you a hint of what is going on. You have to open the door with the window that now, oh, it will raise slightly. Yeah, I'll have to get it back in the runners. But anyway, I have to open the door and have a look at the sill. And the first clue is that the sills are painted. Normally in these cars, they are bare aluminium. Now, if you feel this sill here as well, there is something quite odd going on here. So I can't really describe too much about how this car drives, because in these conditions, it's utterly impossible. But I can tell you from yesterday, the gear change is quite stiff. But it is one of the nicest I've ever tried in an S1 Elise. They are generally not very good, and this is reasonably precise, so it's got some different types of bushings in there to tidy it up. It's also got a different linkage, so that is nice. The steering also is really sweet. Another Elise that I test drove about a month or so ago, no, a couple of months ago, felt completely different. It didn't have the sort of, this is very lithe, it's great. I mean, I was really impressed. It's really noisy, and not so much the engine is noisy, but it's also just noisy from road noise and all that kind of stuff. It's so willing to change direction, it's almost shocking if you're coming from a normal car. It feels so natural. It's just completely intuitive. I really look forward to using it. Now, this is the 145 HP VVC engine that this has in it. All the same, to me, it doesn't feel blisteringly quick for a 700 kilogram car. But if you have to rev it. So it has to be from 4.5, 5 to between that and 6 is where it really kind of goes. But I was surprised. It's actually quite torquey. It really is. It has a lot of torque low down. It sounds good when you're thrashing it. It's quite agricultural. It's not a refined noise, but it does sound good. It does completely suits the car. So it is very pared back to the bone, as you can see. But I just thought for this kind of money, I had to get it. Let's take a better look here, because obviously with all the snow and everything, you could hardly see the car before. So here it is. I can't remember what this colour is called, but it's a royal purple or something like that. It's an original Lotus colour. It's quite rare, and it's fantastic in deep shade like this, or quite shady low light. It almost looks like a black, but it is in fact a very dark purple. I think it looks great. It's not my favourite colour, but I do really like it. The rest of the car, if we look around, looks pretty good, looks pretty solid. There's no obvious signs of anything going on. It's all pretty straight. Obviously there's that issue with the driver's window. I was warned it would do that, and I think I wound it down too quickly. But aside from that, side of the car is good. Rear clam looks good. Oops. Quick look at the engine compartment, and one thing I can say is this is not the original engine. That may upset the purists, but for me, it's just a bonus really. Why would you go with 118 horsepower? It's still a K series. It works really well, and when I got it, the previous owner had the close ratio gearbox was leaking, so he put in a new second-hand gearbox, so had the engine out. While he did that, I got him to redo the belts, oil, do the full service on the engine as well, because it's much easier when it's out of the car. So far so good. You can see one thing which is quite odd. It's got a boot bag and not the normal boot from that, so that's definitely something that's, some of them do that, and it's just to save weight. But if we have a look inside, you can see that it's got S2 seats, which are a good thing, and they're really comfortable. This is a comfortable car. Don't be fooled. It is comfortable. Yes, it is stiff, but it's actually not that bad. The noise is the only thing that would make it a little bit of an issue on longer journeys, but it looks pretty good. The interior isn't particularly worn. There's the gearbox I was talking about with the short shifter, but it's all looking pretty good. So today, with the snow and everything else, I can't really do any more on this car. It's just not very practical. I need to go back, try and vaguely seal it up so it doesn't fill up with water, and then we'll have another video where I update you on everything. But pretty much this is it's probably the cheapest Lotus Elise I've ever seen, S1 anyway, and it drives incredibly well. It's great fun, and just got to work out what's going on with it. Thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe, see the next episodes and what's going on, of course, with my Ferrari 308, the Influenzo. Enjoy the snow, and see you very soon.